In other X news, X opposed the Turkish removals request that we heard this week, but did comply with them, seeming that they're not willing to die on the sword for freedom of speech, like Elon did for Brazil's coverage, or Brazil's removal request, and that kind of ended up and leaded on to X being banned in that jurisdiction. So, is this a double standard? Yes, he didn't like it. Yes, he disagreed with it, but he did still comply. There has been more reports, and this adds to those reports, of Elon making questionable or inconsistent rules related to, or is he only going to comply with companies where he has, quote, value for himself personally or his businesses within the market in sending the request. In a reaction to the Brazilian ban, he could have been the Brazilian ban, for quote, the Brazilian ban, for example, had refused to give Musk favourable deals on lithium, which he needs for his cars and such. Musk was not particularly happy with the Brazilian government, which could have influenced his reaction or his upon the request of them seeking to remove the the Brazilian accounts. However, Musk seemingly has a good relationship with the Turkish president, who just last year asked Musk to build a new Tesla factory inside Turkey, and has noted that he will open a number of deals on AI and Starlink projects as well. So it does seem as it to be more and more clear that if Elon wants or can gain financially from playing nice from one state or the other, then he can and he will specifically change how X reacts to a takedown request or a legal enforcement of that respect. So it'll be seen as a different reaction to potentially how we reacted to Brazil. Now, of course, everything with these removal requests does seem to be nuanced and will be nuance related, and there is going to be an argument, I'm sure, on the other side, which is, well, they're not really the similar situations, but it does, for me at least, bring Elon's logic, Elon's morals, Elon's truth to freedom of speech into question, because clearly he isn't abiding by the same rules or creating this level of double standard, because he's going to do one thing for Turkey because he wants to be in with that government, and in the next breath he'll do a different thing to Brazil because he's not very happy with that government, as I said before, because of that lithium-ion deal. But that's just an example of one of the many things that potentially he might be upset about behind the scenes as well. So for me personally, it is sad to see a double standard like this, but it's not honestly shocking given his past history on the requests. There is more facts on to show the double standard that, in quote, it is not entirely clear why X is picking and choosing the battles in this request, and the suggestion that it could be related to Musk's other businesses, but there's also been other actions similar to German authorities where Tesla's main UK factory is based, and Indian's government where both Tesla and Starlink are trying to get in. Do you think this is okay? Do you think this is an okay double standard? Or do you feel that Elon is turning his back on freedom of speech, right? So he's doing the whole, I'm trying to get good favor with these people, so because I could make financial money, it's good for my companies, etc. So, I'm going to look after them specifically. Whilst I'm filming this show, we're a matter of days away from the US election. This is also being seen as also something that I would say is something we should look at, because it does bring up the question of, there's been a lot of reports and a lot of conversation whilst doing research for this show about he's putting a lot of eggs into the Trump winning the election basket, and it could put X in a difficult situation if Trump doesn't end up winning. So, is this fair? It'll be interesting to see if Elon's bet will be rewarded or will come to pass, or whether it's actually going to backfire. I'd love to hear what you think on this topic in the comment section down below. This week we found out some more data around brands working with creators on their marketing efforts. This is an increased number of brands finding new ways to win the battle of attention. Creator IQ has published a 54-page report that, quote, Creator IQ's report is based on 1,138 total recipients. Through the breakdown, here is important. For those 1,300 participants, 457 are from brands, 445 from agencies, and 231 replied came from creators. So the results will be mixed from market size, but still valuable notes nonetheless. The report itself found that 74% of organizations had increased their creator marketing investments. There was a small dip, as seen in this chart, mostly due to the AI hype that was around last year, specifically in 2023. There's also been reports that Instagram has been surpassed by TikTok as the go-to platform to work with creators on. So it's seen that they've shifted places. So it was Instagram and it's now TikTok specifically. However, this could of course change and could be updated, as I said on the previous story, we are weeks or days away from knowing who the new US electorate will be, and that will drastically change on whether they're going to continue to likely go for the TikTok ban or not, because if the US market is going to using TikTok and our people are working with Instagrammers or influencers, however you want to articulate it, they are going to have an issue, because if TikTok gets banned in the US market, of course, then they will lose that market, and it's very likely, as I said in my coverage of that ban, that US and the UK will also follow suit. So it's really going to come down to, firstly, is there a high enough return on investment, I think long term, for working with creators? Number two, for creators, it's how can you justify that return on investment that you're actually getting from that? And then number three, they're spending this money, of course, how do you get the return? But then what brand equity, what brand karma are you potentially gaining? Do you, as your business watching this, work with creators to grow your business or create content for your marketing specifically? Would you think about using creators as a different approach? Would you think about bringing people in to help articulate and showcase what your products and services can do, and why someone should choose you for when they need that product or service? Let me know in the comment section down below.